You're the guy from the hamburger train, right?
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Hanging out, having fun, chilling? Me too. Finally getting my videos up. We've had some crazy stuff happening at the house. Everybody in my family's been sick and been gone and everything else. But it's about to be video marathon weekend. Dun, 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 dun. Anywho, we're going to talk about the Castigator clone by Vaping Dream. We'll get down and dirty with it here in a second. Not a bad clone. I'll show you a few problems. We will take it apart. I'll show you kind of what the issue is with the clone and how I've went about fixing it. When the original, the voltage drop was next to none from what I've seen from all the reviews. Got mine in. People have got theirs without screws, loose. Mine was loose, and of course I'm pretty engineerically inclined, so I took it apart and tightened it up, and then I was having some issues with the 510, but when we get down and dirty with it, I'll show you all the issues and I'll show you what I did to fix it. Alright, so let's get down. Alright guys, this is from angelcigs.com. This is the Vaping Dream edition, as you can tell. This is the box it comes in. It absolutely comes with nothing else but the mod. Pretty nice boxing though. I mean, it's standard boxing. There it is, Vaping Dream box from Angel Cigs. If you notice, look at Mr. Castigator here. He is missing a trigger and some of his gun. I did have a sticker over that, just a little one. I took it off for the review. It's like that on both sides, which is awesome. Nothing like a clone that doesn't even clone the decal right, but it's adventurous of them to really fuck that up. They were rushing this out. Angel Cigs was waiting a long time for this to come in stock. It's a Dual 18650 box mod, silver plated contacts. It's fully mechanical, T6 aluminum and Delrin, and the original one was from Eve, which is Emperor Vape East. Emperor Vape East. Cost $185 for the original, and it's 25 millimeters thick right here, 50 wide and 78 tall, which is pretty small. I mean, it's damn near the size of 2 batteries. There's the bottom's brass, silver plated springs and contacts. This is pretty beefy. I mean, it's nice. It's got a little hinge right here, and we are going to take it apart. So I got my punch. My pin's been taken out a few times, so it's not too hard to get out. Alright, if you notice, this pin has a head on it. If I can get it to focus here. It's got one side of it's kind of spined to hold it, and the other end's flat. So it really only comes out one way. So if you ever get this, try the fat head of it comes out kind of like a little nail. And there's the contacts. There's the bottom door, and then there's the 2 screws we got to take out next, and then one right here with the hinge system. Now I was noticing pretty good voltage drop on mine, and I had to take it apart, man. Something was up. It wasn't getting hot or anything, but I was getting pretty bad voltage drop. This stuff is in here big time in this Delrin. So you gotta make sure you take your time, make sure you get it loose, or you're gonna strip your screws out. The heads on the screws aren't too bad. You just want to make sure you get something that fits really good. I'm gonna fast forward.
I guess. It'll take a minute. Alright, there's one screw. The other one out. Let me see if I can get this other part loose with the screwdriver. And I'll show you I'm sure you guys have seen this, but I wanted to do it on the clone. This is the hinge system. It's got a screw and just a little U-shape, makes a spring.
And that's one of your main contacts right there, because it goes from the door up the side. That's part of the spring system. It runs up to the switch. I'll show you that here in a second. But see, that's part of the aluminum. That's the casing right there. And if you can tell, mine's silver. It had black paint on it. I scratched all the paint off because I was having voltage drop issues, and I noticed on the authentic, theirs was nice and shiny right there, so I was losing a ground. So what was running up to the switch was the ground, and it was losing connectivity right there. So I scratched it off, and it helped a little bit. Well, actually it helped a pretty good bit, but I'm still getting a little bit more voltage drop. I'm getting about a 0.3 to 0.4 more than what I should be. Alright, now this pops off. This whole thing pops off, and you can see where that aluminum is. That switch goes up in there. That piece of metal right there touches the aluminum, and that's where you're making your connection from, and then the other side of it. So that's where I'm getting my voltage drop. When I first took this apart after using it, you could tell where the batteries were arcing, and there was a couple dark spots. It's not arcing now. I've been running it like this probably for a good month. I haven't ran it every day, but there's no arcing that I can tell right now. Now these are the screws that these 4 screws is the ones people's had missing or loose. Mine were a little loose, not too bad. You didn't notice when you first got it, you put your batteries in it, shut the lid, and the springs would push up on it, and you'd get a real bad gap right through here on both sides. Anyways, let me get these long screws out.
You can hear him squeaking good and tight in there. Delrin's pretty strong on this box body, even for a clone. I mean, Delrin's Delrin. You can make different stages of it. The only thing I don't like about the clone is I can't get these damn panels. These 2 panels, I can't get them out at all. I've tried everything. I was going to maybe do my own custom ones and slide them in, change it up. Alright, let me see if I got them all loose. These screws are super long.
There we go. There's all 4 of them. Nice long screws, and the heads have been grounded down on them, so there's not much of a head on the screws. Alright, now we can take the top off. You can push your button in, or you can keep it. Either way, I'll put my button down. Alright, there's the other side, the button pop out, which is just a little piece of Delrin. There's part of the outside of the 510 is all one piece, and it goes to there, and that's part of your, that's the connection for the switch. That's where this part would hit. You hit your button, that piece lays right inside there, and then it touches it. Then you're ready to fire. Here is the spring section. Let me get this out. And it's just like the original. It's 3 bars, 1 plate, 2 plates. It's pretty nice as far as your spring goes. And that's where the screw goes in at the bottom. And there's no arcing on this, as far as I can tell, but I'm getting hellacious voltage drop. Alright, here's the part that I want to show you guys. Black piece of Delrin covers up your 510, or surrounds your 510, alright? Mine was offset. I'll show you when I get it back together, but mine was almost touching the threads on the negative. And I noticed, that's it, popped out. I noticed that this piece of metal was shifting around. That's where your battery contacts touch. So what I did was I glued the piece of metal to the plate, alright? Before I did that, I filed right there on the inside of the 510. I'll get this damn thing to focus. There we go. I filed that down a little bit, so it wouldn't touch the threads. It wasn't that close, but it was close enough, and then I put little pieces of tape around it because I glued it once and this metal plate popped loose from the plastic. So now it's nice and center. The plate won't pop out, and it stays in there. So, but that's how you take the Castigator apart. And I'm gonna do one thing. I'm gonna polish that up and that side, both sides of this aluminum housing. All right, I'm gonna polish them up, and I'll be back, guys. Hey, I just took this. That's your 510. It was up inside of there. Popped it out. You can see where it was. It's like a bolt hex. It had some glue up in there. I never took this out yet. See that glue? Awesome. It don't even need glue. It's press fit. But I noticed where the switch was touching on the front side of this, See them little spots? I had some arcing. So this must not have been connecting fully. So we'll get that cleaned off, and my bar, I just polished it. You see how shiny that is. I'm gonna smooth that up and smooth this up and see if I can get these to maybe connect a little bit sharper. It looks like it's just touching the edge of it. So see if I can get this thing cleaned up, see if I can get a little bit less voltage drop. I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. I did my modifications real quick. This is a sharpening stone, in case you're wondering. I had to smooth some parts off. Real quick, I'll show you what I did. I'll put it all back together, and then I'll show you. I'll vape on it. We'll get this video over with. But anyways, let me take it back apart. I took the piece out between here. I showed you before. Basically, I can pull this out now. It used to be that piece. Let me take my screwdriver and undo it here. I ain't telling everybody to do this, but of course, like you guys probably know of the clone, this isn't silver-plated copper. Some kind of, it looks like a brass alloy. It's not really brass. That's not really showing through on camera, but it's got a light gold tinge to it. I think it's some kind of brass, because that's not really soldering. That looks what they call like brazing. It's like an aluma weld soldering joint, not a traditional. That's what it looks like to me. But anywho, there was a little piece of Delrin right in here, and I grinded that down a little bit. That way I know for sure my button's going down far enough to hit the other connection in there. All right, got that all taken apart and clean. And I smoothed my button out because I was having some issues. Instead of it being squared off like that, right there, I rounded it off, and that way it'll slide in and out of there. In case I need to do a quick fix on something, I can slide it out through the bottom. And instead of there just being a screw hole, I milled that out where this thing can go straight through. So instead of the screw going through this piece and then into this piece, and there being 3 different pieces of metal sandwiched together, it's screwed directly to this. Okay, so this I might be losing you guys a little bit here, but that put the button down about 1/8 of an inch. So when I went down 1/8 of an inch, this corner was hitting this hole. Are you guys getting that? Let me put this in here. This corner right here, if that corner was right there, it would be hitting that Delrin, all right, because it's down in there. That's why I grounded it off on the bottom. That way my button can move. If not, my button was stuck there. I doubt anybody's going to want to do this modification, but if you're handy, I'm basically taking out this piece of aluminum out of the picture, so it'll be this rod directly to this. All right, you guys get what I'm saying there? The little spring housing, and then this is going directly to the outside of my 510. So I'm trying to take out some variables so my voltage drop isn't so bad. Some of my mods, some of my RDAs, my coils, I'll be able to have some nasty ramp up times. So I'm trying to get rid of some of that ramp up time. All right, so I can put this together a little different now. We'll put it together here. I might edit out some of this, but let's do it.
Usually don't put it together like this, but we're going to now because I have a little bit more time. So let me get this screwed back on. Usually you screw this on after you're already putting the mod back together, but like I said, after this modification, there's no need to do that. So I can tighten this in, and tighten this up, straighten it up, and I can get that lined in. Do I have it straight? Yep, I have it straight. Work it down in there. There we go. I got it cockeyed just a hair. There it is. Back it off. Now that I have it down in the channel, I can tighten that up real good. There we go. And I can take my top part. Too bad I already had this fixed, or I would have showed you guys how I did this, but maybe for another video. If you guys want to see how I fix the 510, if yours is fucked up, I can show you. But anyways, let's put this through. Alright, got that pushed through. Center it up. Booyah! Take my little piece of Delrin, put in my button. Alright, it's laying in there in my button. And now I have to straighten that up. I gotta compress that a little bit. Sorry, I gotta compress that just a little bit and put it right in there. Boom. Alright. Oh, you know what I forgot? I gotta put the 4 screws in the mod. We're gonna try out my new button and see if this works. This might be a little more complicated than what I thought. But we'll try it anyways. can do it the traditional way, but I want to try something new. Alright, let me tighten up these screws. Yeah, I'm going to put my caps on so this other side isn't big enough in my hand. Fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. Alright, get that one touching, go through and get them all touching. Don't tighten one down before the others, just get them all evened up.
Just a straight bar.
And I know a lot of you guys are like, damn man, this is a lot of work just for, I like tinkering, I like messing with stuff.
Spring,
if I can get a $25, $22
like a
clone
flat bar, put
and
a bend
make my
in
own
it,
pieces
make my
and
own
parts to
spring,
make it better, I will make that into copper one day.
Tapping the screws on the other end.
I'll probably just use a straight, just a straight bar,
tight.
temper it,
keep going
make
around.
Make it like spring.
You think you have them tight,
a flat bar, put a
and
bend
then
in it,
put
make
your
my own spring.
batteries in
So
it,
the biggest part's going to be tapping the screws on the other
end, and you'll get a gap at the top.
These screws are
And
tight.
that's what a lot of
Keep going
people's
around
having issues
because you think you have them tight, and then you put your batteries in it, your mod, shut the lid, and you'll get a gap at the top. And that's what a lot of people's having issues with. Alright, it's tightened up. Let me pull on this and see if I'm going to get a gap at all.
Nope, it's tight. I can't hardly show you, but my button can pop out.
I can't hardly show you, but my button can pop out. So,
I don't want it to pop out. It's going to be hard to get on camera, but I'm going to use gravity. And I'm going to put this in there. Alright. And we are going to wiggle my way in there. Dun, dun, dun. And I need this end here. Let's push straight in. Alright, it's in there. Let me feel my button. There it is. You can hear that. See if you can hear this metal noise. See, I wasn't having that slight or that good of a metal sound before. It was sounding mushy. I think maybe the Delrin that I cut out in there, maybe that Delrin was hitting it right. You know, it might have been just barely catching the other piece of metal for contact, but that Delrin was holding it up. Because I could tell, if I pushed on it really fucking hard, like super duper hard, it seemed to hit better. Now, when I put it on the voltage meter, once I made connection, I was making good connection, but if I pushed a little harder, all of a sudden I was getting like 0.3 more, which is about what I'm losing in voltage drop. So I think it was all in that button connection. All right, let me fast forward through this here.
These fucking screws, man, they're fine thread, and they take forever to get in there. Ah, fuck. I'll go to the other hand. I was like what? Invicta. All right, look at this. You want to take your time, man. Don't rush your screws. You strip them out, you're gonna be pretty well SOL. Take your time, make sure you get them in there. I would not put these screws in or out with a drill or any kind of mechanical driver, because if you, hence even stripping heads out, but if you run these threads into Delrin or any types of plastic or nylon real fast, you can melt it, and then it'll just strip. The threads will strip, not the head. Alright, starting to tighten up. Tightened up. Tightened up. Let me give it the pull test. Make sure nothing feels loose. Feeling good? Feeling good. Alright, and let me see which side. I'm going to put my pin back through. Alright, let's get this in there. Push down on it. That's what happened last time. I was having a hell of a time trying to get this thing in there. There it is. Popped right through. And let me find my little brass hammer. There it is. Got my snap-on hammer. Let me get this pin in there. Where's my center punch? Well, let me just use a screwdriver here. I want to get it in there a little bit farther than what it is. Alright. A little bit more. Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, I didn't even realize my AC unit was on. It's right beside my camera. Alright, let's throw some batteries in it and we'll take it up top.
Alright guys, what's up? Basically, I just tested it on my voltage meter here. Just took my batteries off charge. They're LG HE4s, the yellow ones. Oh, shit, motherfucker. Let me grab it here. Alright, I got them both in there. And I just tested it, and it's reading a 4.18, which that's what they were at when they come off the charger. Damn, let me adjust this camera up a little bit. I'm cutting my head off. I think because I'm sitting up. Alright, but anyways, rocking the West Virginia shirt. So it's going to be a long video, so you guys just bear with me. Where the fuck is my... There it is. I was looking for my lethal RDA. Oh! Why didn't I do this when we was up close? But anyways, let me put this thing, let me screw this on. And let's check for voltage drop. Alright. Let me see if I can point this camera down and show you guys something. I'll show you what I'm doing here. Damn it, I still got my freaking... Hang on, let me turn on overhead light. I can see the fluorescence fucking making the camera look funny. Alright, here's my voltage. I just tested it, 418. Can you guys see what I'm doing? You can see what I'm doing. You're not going to be able to see the screen, but you're going to be able to see how I do it. Alright? I suggest nobody doing this at all. I'm a trained professional. Alright? I'll hold these together like chopsticks. One on positive, one on negative. This is how I read it. Alright? Nobody else do this at all. Do not do this. Get this set up. I had a 510 adapter thing, like a cheek box. Alright, so I'm going to hit the button and see what the voltage drops at. Nothing's touching. Nothing's crossing over. Oh, it's way hotter. Alright, so it's 3.7. And it was at basically a 4.1. So, that's a 0.4. It was, I wish I would have done this beforehand so you guys could see the difference. Take my word for it, man. Like I said, I'm just a regular vape dude. I ain't got nothing in it. I just want to show you guys how I fix shit. Alright, let me spin this camera back up. That was just a big waste of time, wasn't it? Oh well. Take it from me. It fucking worked. It saved it. Because I'm telling you, man, I was getting like fucking, I want to say when I had a charged battery, I was getting a voltage drop of 3.8? No, I'm sorry. 3.2. And that was at like around 4 volts, 4.1. So I was getting almost a whole volt drop. Now, it's not silver-plated copper like the original. If it was, I wouldn't have hardly no voltage drop. But they're using some kind of brass, aluminum, hybrid metal, mystery metal, you know. And I'm still not getting that much of a voltage drop. So it's decent for conductivity, but it just kind of shows you what the authentic would actually hit like. Let me grab some juice here. Got some juice. My buddy sent me Sunshine Vape, and it's good stuff. It's maple rum tobacco, but it's got a real rich flavor. I'm gonna drip it in my lethal here. Let's hit this. First time hitting it since I changed it, or since I fixed the clone. I might start using it more now. Yeah, it's definitely hitting harder. You know what? I got the fucking, let me get this back out. I got my, why can't I think? My Cherry Bomber clone by Vogo, and I've done some modifications to it. I got this thing pretty well dialed in, you know what I mean, as far as I put my own spring in the button. I did a lot of the things myself. I have the velocity at a 0.15, 0.16 in here. I want to see what kind of voltage drop this thing has. Let me get on the positive and the negative and test it. My batteries are at a 4 even. Let me hit the button. Alright. It was showing a 3.5. Alright, so 3.6. But it's lower ohms. My lethal's at a 0.25. So it's a tenth lower on ohms, which you're going to have a little bit more voltage drop because of the lower ohms, but my velocity, or my Cherry Bomber, was one of the hardest hitting mechanical mods. I don't have very many mods, guys, just regular vape dude, but the hardest hitting mechanical mod I had, especially after I did some modifications, and I can show you in another video modifications I did on this switch to help you guys that have Cherry Bombers, and if you're having like hot and button issues. The magnets that come with this are junk. I can guarantee, I mean, they work, they'll get you by, but if you put something like 0.3, 0.2, 0.4 on there, you're gonna start getting a hot button. You're gonna notice that you hit the button and it comes off. But this isn't about the Cherry Bomber. What the fuck am I talking about? The Castigator. All right, with this one too, both these clones. Cherry Bomber was easier to fix. This one I had to think about a little bit. I would hit the button and it would hit, and then you could hear it going like like you could hear it fading in and out, and then if you really hit it hard, it would stay at it. So I was like, huh, something's not connecting right, and that's when I took it out. You guys seen where it was arcing, and I'm gonna wrap this video up, but you seen how I fixed it. If you guys have any questions, anybody cares, concerns, anything like that, if you like kind of like the how to fix stuff, because that's probably what I'm, you know, that's not what my specialty is, but that's what I like doing. I like tinkering. I like taking something that's cheaper and being able to make it pretty well as good as the original and work good for me. And I know a lot of people's in that situation. You know, you try out, you get a clone, you try it out to see if you want to get the authentic, you know, and you get a clone and it sucks. I know, like, Big Lou hated this fucking thing, and he tried the authentic, and I haven't. And you know, like I said, from what I heard, the authentic hits like a motherfucker, and this one wasn't a huge voltage drop on this thing, and I'm not getting it now, not like I was. I've probably half my voltage drop, you know, so it's doing better than my Cherry Bomber at the moment. The fuck is my ohm meter at? Let me look. Let me see if it's in my OtterBox case here. Yeah, there it is. I can't remember what my what this lethal's at. Let me check it real quick. I think it's a 0.2. But like the 510 threads on this Castigator clone, they're nice, man. I like, it's beefy. It runs through the whole device. This fucking video is gonna be long. I have to edit the shit out of it. 0.23. All right. So, and the other one's a 0.16. So the ohms aren't off that much. So, you know, I should probably throw it on the other mod. But as of right now, I'm thinking from what I'm adding up in my head that this Castigator is having a little bit less voltage drop than the Cherry Bomber, which is great because this thing is littler and easier to change batteries in. Man, it's cooking pretty good, man. I don't have very many mods that do that. I'm just wasting Sunshine's juice. He's gonna be pissed. Probably just hit the floor with a heart attack. Didn't even go in my lungs, buddy. I'm sorry. All right, guys. I got about 50,000 more videos to put up this weekend, but I'm gonna do the Mad Hatter. Right there, we'll be doing that either next, or I'm gonna do the Zephyrus next. I want to do a device build, and I have the Dark Knight mechanical mod. I got this from Angel Sigs, and I got the Castigator from Angel Sigs. This Dark Knight, you know, I had to do a little fix with it, you know, old school how to fix the switch on it, put something a little stronger in there for sub-ohm, super sub-ohm, and I'll show you guys how I did it. And this has been a really good mod. I don't think they're in stock right now at Angel Sigs, but oh well, it's not about this either, is it? Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one. Oh, to all my new subscribers, man, I'm glad you guys are here, and if you guys can give me some input, you guys might like something, see different on my videos than what I'm doing, just regular vape dude here, just showing you guys what I got, alright? Peace and chicken grease. See you next time.